In this episode, we will talk about transitioning out of the lane. So the main things when you start transitioning out of the laning stage is like heroes start to be strong. All the supports also, they're like level 6 and stuff. They will have their ultimates ready to start taking like team fights, and you start to execute like your game plan. Like now that laning stage is over, you start like lanes don't matter so much. Like I mean they matter, but you don't stay statically on a lane so much. It's just more about pushing the waves in and then start making some other plays happen. Determining your game plan, it's all about communicating with your teammates. Probably going into the game you already have a strategy in mind, like with these heroes, with this lineup, what is it that we want to do? Is it that we want to have a lot of farm on this one guy and then other guys running around and like creating space like for protect one in a way? Or is it more like well-rounded draft? Is it like you just have like two-man squads going around and ganking people and then like maximizing on all the lanes? Or is it like more like 5-manning and things like this? For example, in this game, I'm playing Earth Spirit mid. We have Lycan carry and Kunkka offlane. So our cores are quite early game dominant heroes. So and we're like mobile. We always want to use our timings with Lycan ulti and my ulti. These are very big cooldowns we want to use every time. And if you look at their draft, they have quite greedy heroes like Luna. Luna wants to farm a lot. Huskar wants to farm his core items before he wants to start running out on the lane. So it's all about identifying what is that our heroes want to do together, and is it just like, is it farming, is it running around, or whatever it is. Just make it happen as a team and yeah, do it. So yeah, laning stage can last for 5 minutes or it can last for 10 minutes or even longer than that, but usually it should be over by the 10-minute mark. Like people start running around and doing their other things and like making their own pressure elsewhere than from their own lane. So as you can see, I don't stay much on the mid lane. I mean, get this waves in all you can and then start either farming the jungle or start making plays happen. I mean, this game I'm just maximizing, I'm getting a lot of farm and then we go for a smoke. And here it's already 12 minutes in, lanes are over as you can see, there's nobody on the side lanes except one of them showing on the bottom, and we're looking to make plays happen. We're looking to take this mid tower, we still haven't taken it, it's 12 minutes in. So this is a team play, this is once you're done with the laning stage and you start making team fights happen. And this is, we smoke for our gank, our goal is to get this mid tower and possibly a fight also if they give it to us. So here it's an ideal scenario for us. They come and defend, we're stronger than them, we beat them in the fight, and then probably we also take the tower later. So this is about, you don't want to be stuck up on your lanes for too long when you can actually, when you already are strong enough to make team plays. When their lineup is more defensive, they want the lane stage to continue as long as they can, so they get most out of the map. But we don't give it to them, so we just keep up the pressure and don't let them farm. So yeah, there's a moment in the game when you start realizing that how strong we are compared to them. Like for example this game, if you look at our cores and look at the items we have, like you just look at Lycan for example. He has Dominator, he has a Necropool coming on his courier, he has it now. We have a Kunkka, very strong hero, early game. His ultimate is very powerful in the early fights. Then we have an Earth Spirit, who's also very, very good team fighter. And I also have, I'm very tanky, I'm gonna have my Sanj, he's gonna have his Sanj. We're hitting huge timings on all our heroes. Meanwhile, if you look at their heroes, they have a Luna, who's maxing Glaives. He has level 2 Lucent Beam, that's it. He doesn't have ulti, he has 1 power threat. He's very, very weak. He cannot join the fight. Then they have a Vengeful Spirit, doesn't really offer anything for team fight either. Just one wave of terror, that's about it. Maybe a swap. Then a Huskar who has a Helm of Iron Will and brown boots. Like that's all he has. Like there's no way they fight us. The only hero they have really is this guy, and it's not enough. The one Sandstorm doesn't help them enough. So at this point we should be talking about making a team play happen because we are so much stronger than they are. There's no way they can counter the play we're gonna make. So we're gonna make a team play on the mid, and At this point, the game feels like there's no way we're gonna lose this game because we're so far ahead. I mean, we're 3,000 ahead, but it feels this is enough to make us feel like there's no way we can lose this game because we make the team play happen, and if they don't react, we get their towers, and if they react, we take the fight on them and we destroy them. So we just make a team play, don't make mistakes, don't stay alone on lanes, don't get ganked, just go together, make it happen, and this is how you start winning the game. And then now we get a huge lead on them. We get a lot of kills, we even kill their carry, now he's not farming at all. And then we just keep hunting, and then we go for the tower push. So when the laning stage is over and you start thinking about like what is the play now, like if you feel confused, like you don't know exactly should we keep laning or should we like start 5-manning and stuff, then it's all about just I mean, first of all you need to communicate with your teammate, like you ask yo, what do you want to do? Is it you want to farm, you want to fight? And if your teammates are like, yo, we want to take this tower, we want to take the fight on them, I feel strong, then you want to empower the play. You want to start like, okay, I can do this and that, I can, yeah, you just it's like a lot about communication. You look at your lineup, what's your strength. This game, for example, our strength is, our team fight is insanely strong compared to theirs. And so we want to abuse that because every time we have spells ready, we want to go as 5. We want to push the tower. If they react, we take the fight on them. Some games it's different. Some games your timing is waiting for the Spectre Radiance. So you're just, it's a different game. You're trying to make your own pressure happen while dealing with what they're doing as well as you can, but in a defensive way. You're more like delaying the game, but just different approaches to different games, and yeah, it always changes depending on what heroes you have. Dota is basically about resources, game about resources and getting the most out of this map, and so all the plays you're doing should be going towards how do I get most out of this map? Like, is it if I get this mid tower, is it that do I get these 2 camps that they cannot farm and we farm them? So in that way it can help you a lot by deciding what play to make. Like if I take this top tower, meanwhile they're farming the whole woods here and everything, then it's like maybe not the best play. Like even though you get the tower, you get a objective, they get a lot of resources, and it can be a bad thing even though you get a tower. So always thinking about the resources, pushing the waves, and like the jungle, like is it worth it to leave the wave and the jungle just to gank this one guy here or get this one tower instead of farming? So it's a lot about thinking about the resources. I mean, there's always like situations in the game where you end up just staying on a lane and pushing it in for a couple minutes. Like for example, this area here, if you're playing Radiant, sometimes you end up being here a long time. Like you just push this wave, you farm this, you stay here for a couple minutes and you just farm. But I mean, split pushing is like, in a way, it's like about creating your own pressure. You push this lane in so they cannot, it's obvious what they're doing. If you push this in and start hitting this tower and they're not showing, then we know exactly where they are. So we make space and we get information for our other heroes to then play the map in the way that they don't get caught when they are ganking you. So yeah, I mean, split pushing is a big thing, of course, in Dota. Like pushing the waves in general is like very important. It gives you a lot of information if you push waves very deep. Yeah, it's a very big part. I always remember the waves, push the waves. I mean, probably the best thing you can do in pubs is just communicating with your team that, I mean, if your carry says he wants to farm Radiance and your other team wants to fight, probably you need to be realistic about it, that okay, let's take a fight in a way that we don't fully commit into it. We take it in a way that we are ready to back out if they come all of them, and then in that way we make space for the guy who wants to farm Radiance. So yeah, I mean, you always have to listen to the guy who is strongest in the team basically, but in that case, in pubs, maybe the carry player is some Wraith King who's just rushing Radiance, he doesn't want to join anything, then well, yeah, you have to you have to take it into consideration, but yeah, you need to always take into consideration what your other teammates are doing, but yeah, you always want to make a play together. And yeah, I mean, the main things about when you start transitioning out of the lanes is still, it's a lot about the lanes itself, but it's not about laning itself. It's more about always pushing the waves in, getting information. Information starts to be a very big thing at this point, because the more vision you have them, the greedier you can be, the more aggressive you can be. I mean, always pushing the waves in is very important, getting vision, placing deep wards if you can, and that way you get the most out of the map. Like, transitioning out of the laning stage is about, it's still about farming a lot. It's about getting the most out of the map. And if you get 60% there, 40%, you should be happy, usually. And the way you make that happen is by being aggressive, pushing the waves deep, and just placing deep vision and being aggressive. I mean, the way you start practicing it, you can just start very simply. Like, say you have your draft is very teamfight oriented. You have like Tidehunter, Enigma, and stuff. Then you have very clear like plan that when do we want to fight? When we have our ultimates ready. Then it's like, wait, then it's our time to take team fights. It's very simple, and then when it's on cooldown, you probably want to split push the map to get most out of it, and that's very easy way to start learning like what is the purpose of our heroes, what is it that we want to do at what time, and then always like using your timings. Like, I mean, this game, for example, it's kind of the same thing. We have big ultimates. Our ultimates are much stronger than theirs. We want to use them in effectively, and we're doing it very well. We take a team fight together, we use our spells, we win the team fight, we get the tower, and then we take it from there.